I love to hear the rhythm of the clickety-clack, and hear the lonesome whistle, see the smoke from his jack, and pal around with Democratic fellas named Max. So take me right back to the track, Jack. Shoot, shoot, choo choo, chaboogie, woo woo, woo woo, chaboogie, choo choo, choo choo, chaboogie. Take me right back to the track, Jack. I need some compensation to get back in the back. Take the morning paper from the top of the rack, and I read the situation from the front to the back. The only job that's open takes a gal with a knack, so put her right back in the rack, Jack. Choo choo, choo choo, chaboogie, woo woo, woo woo, chaboogie, choo choo, choo choo, chaboogie. Take me right back to the track, Jack. I predict the crack, and I watch the trailer rolling while she's ballin' that jack. You know I love the rhythm of the clickety-clack, so take me right back to the track, Jack. Choo choo, choo choo, chaboogie, woo woo, woo woo, chaboogie, choo choo, choo choo, chaboogie. Take me right back to the track, Jack. Take me right back to the track, Jack. Choo choo.
Thanks so much. That's K-Bob there on the choo choo, and thank Justin Butler and all the folks here at the college for having us here. We appreciate that. I want to point out that Reggie Harris was a charter member of Strictly Clean and Decent, and he leaves that off his resume on purpose, but and Ron and I don't blame him. But he's one of the finest musicians that I've ever had a chance to play music with, and as you know, with his work with the Harris brothers, it's just top of the line. Proud to have you here, Reggie.
Thank you, Eddie.
This is a song that Reg and I taught Jeff Little one winter a few weeks ago, back in the 1900s. I think Reggie and I and Jeff Little and Ron Shuffler jammed on this for a winter, and it's one we always enjoy playing. sing a song now, so I want to warn everybody if you have anything you need to adjust before I do that. Might want to go ahead and take care of that. Any pacemakers or anything. Kick us off there, Reggie.
1, 2, 3.
All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see that I'm no good without you? Take my arms, I won't lose them. Take my lips, I'll never use them. Your goodbye has left me with eyes that cry, and you know that I'm no good without you. You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? Why not take all of me? Can't you see that I'm no good without you? Take my arms, I won't lose them. Whoa, take my lips, I'll never use them. And your goodbye has left me with eyes that cry. And you know that I'm no good without you. You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? So why not take all of me? Shuffler over there on the bass, folks. The only thing we're going to say about him is that Ron's been playing this kind of music with myself and Reggie since 1988. Kay joined the band in 1991. So Ron Shuffler has the patience. He's going to be nominated for sainthood, I think. Teaching music lessons to all us whippersnappers. And right here's the tune that Reg and Ron and I played. This was one of the first Django Reinhardt tunes we jumped on back in the late 80s when we were playing this high-class concert hall down in Hickory, North Carolina called the Woodlands Barbecue. And, this will make them order an extra bowl of sauce right here, buddy. Are you ready, Reg? You ready, Rondo?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I hear you, boys. I hear you now. I hear you now. Well, folks, this is a moment we've all been waiting for. And when we started the trio in 1988, we were playing a lot of swing music and jazz tunes, and we'd sing one every now and then just to keep up appearances. And it was early on that I recognized that I was standing beside two great singers. Ron Shuffler's always been known as a great singer, but Reggie Harris, a wonderful singer. So we're going to have Reg show you some of his prowess now on the old vocal right here.
Now I know you lie in public.
Well, I got paid to lie, so. Yeah, man.
Hot gingerbread and dynamite, drink nothing folks that each night. Back in Nagasaki with the pepper to the back end, the women with the back. They got a way to entertain hurricane. Back in Nagasaki with the pepper to the back end, the women with the back. Gucci armor, you give a mama, they go troubles and crease. Samba daughter, older soda, her shake me up, shake it, 10 centipedes. They hard in the kiss, you eat tonight. Back jeans, it's worth the price. Back in Nagasaki with the pepper to the back end, the women with the back. Kiss you each night, back Jimmy, that's worth the price. Back in Nagasaki with the pepper to the back end, the women with the back.
I told you. That wasn't a lie, Reg. That was the truth. What's that, K-Bone?
Should you tell them what Hillbilly Jazz is?
Oh, you should. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, Kay said, should we say what Hillbilly Jazz is? Well, to me, it's country people listening to the radio, or maybe country people traveling to a place and hearing live music that doesn't sound like what their neighbor played on a clawhammer banjo. And the music sort of got all mixed up around Caldwell County, and this is where I grew up. I had, in the house where I was born, I had a guitar player who played like Maybelle Carter, and then I had another one who played like Merle Travis. And of course, the picking of Merle Travis was more sophisticated than Maybelle's in some ways, and in other ways not, but that's an argument for another day. The first time I ever heard the term Hillbilly Jazz, I guess, was when Homer and Jethro and Chet Atkins recorded an album back in 1958 called Jazz from the Hills. And they got all the hot Nashville guys who had been listening to this kind of music just to do a project for fun. And then there was another one that came out, there was a Hillbilly Jazz record. Let's see, Vassar had one as well. When did his come out, Reg? And in the 1970s, a fiddle player named Vassar Clements, who was a deer. I might let you elaborate on that a little bit, Reg. How you got into the jazz that you play.
I think it's your fault.
Well, I'll take the blame for that then.
Yeah.
My Uncle Cecil Palmer, he's a great guitar player, and he always played a few, you know, what I thought was weird songs, you know, different stuff like Duke Ellington, Don't Mean a Thing, and then got that swing and like weird chords and stuff, and I loved it. And then Patrick, he would come and jam with us a lot, and he had all kinds of songs that he picked up in college and out in the world and stuff, so he gave me my first Django. I guess you call it a mixtape now.
It is a mashup.
Yeah, there was a mashup in Django and I think Barry Manilow. So that's kind of how I got into some of that stuff. And talking about Bachelor Clemens, I got to work with him, make 2 records with him. He was fantastic. You know, he was a complete ear player, and kind of like Django was an ear player. You know,
They both were, yeah.
geniuses. You know, just to completely understand. If they could listen to any kind of song, they can understand it somehow. They understand the whole thing, big classical piece or whatever. And you know, we opened up for Vassar.
We
First
did.
time I ever met him.
1991, back in the 1900s.
At Women's Barbecue.
I was there.
Yeah.
We've ate a lot of barbecue.
Yeah. Pigs don't like us. I'll tell you that. They really don't. Well, it's an honor to be here, and we're going to get Ron Sheffer to give you his 2 cents worth a little bit later. But right now, I want to turn it over to my sweetie there, K-Bob, on the piano. Kay, go ahead and you and Rondo kick this one off, and let's lay it to him.
My man don't love me, treats me oh so mean. My man, he don't love me, treats me oh so mean. He's the meanest man that I've ever seen. He wears high draped pants, stripes are really yellow. He wears high draped pants, stripes are really yellow. But when it starts in a loving me, he's so fine and mellow. Love will make you drink and gamble, make you stay out all night long. Love will make you drink and gamble, make you stay all night long. Love will make you do things that you know is wrong. But if you treat me right, Daddy, I will stay home every day. But if you treat me right, Daddy, I will stay home. I will stay home every day. But sometimes you're so mean to me, baby. I know you're gonna drive me away. Turn off and on. Love is just like a faucet. It will turn off and on. Just when you think it's off, baby, it has turned off and gone.
Ron Scheffler grew up in a musical household, and not only did he have first-generation bluegrass players basically come into his home and rehearsing there, he grew up around those musicians. But Ron, I'd like for you, if you don't mind, to talk a little bit about your brother George and Merritt and the Western swing thing that was going on, and tell me a little bit about that. And these folks as well might want to know it too.
Yes, well, my old brother, he passed, almost 89 when he passed, but he had a great career. Most famous for about 18 years with the Stanley Brothers. This is when Carter and Ralph Stanley were together all those years, pioneering the bluegrass that we know today. But even before that, he and we had a neighbor named Lester Woody who passed real recently that was a great fiddle player. He went on to play with the Stanley Brothers with some other great groups, and excellent player. And Brother John also played with the Stanley Brothers, and he was a great bass player, guitar as well, but most known for his bass playing. So the three of those guys, George played guitar, of course, in this group, and a fourth guy named Merritt Williams, and he too passed recently, all of them in their 80s. He played lap steel or dobro, most prominently lap steel in that group, but they had a swing group, and they played Hickory Radio each day, I think, at noon. And then they would play schoolhouses and courthouses and drive-in theaters. And drive-in theaters were a hoot. They play on the roof of the projection room, and you would put your speaker in your car window, and if you liked what they were doing, you'd honk your horn when they got through. If it was real good weather, you would sit outside on a pallet or whatever. But they were doing Western swing, bob wheels and all that, and three-part harmonies, and so that was real cool. They would practice in our home a lot, and big old farmhouse, and I was so big, but if I would be quiet, they would let me stay in the room and listen. And if I made a peep, then out you go. I would get thrown out on occasion, but I learned pretty quickly to be quiet there. So just a lot of fond memories there. But we also had a community of players that played a huge variety of music, many of them from Caldwell County. When I was 18, I was a mighty saxophone player with no training, by the way. And so Gary Starr was a prominent musician in Caldwell County, great guitar player, any style you could imagine. Jerry Story was a phenomenal drummer, the son of Carl Story, who was a legendary bluegrass, the king of bluegrass gospel from here and there's Carl Story Highway, stretch of 18 going out past West Caldwell High School now. So Jerry could do Dave Brubeck. You could go drink a beer while Jerry was taking a break on the drums, you know, and come back and he'd still be getting on with it.
I wish we had him here today.
Incredible player. And or Pepsi. Then we had Paul Knight playing piano. Paul also was a great guitar player. And but he played piano in this group, played it well. And they would do a huge variety of music. Jimmy Davis played saxophone and he's still a great player.
Oh yeah.
Lives in the Greenwood community. So we had players all around us that could play a huge variety of music. And I could name more and more names, but those were some guys that influenced me a great deal. And then around 1969, I got to play with the great Cecil Palmer. I played electric bass in that group. And he and Fred Lefevers was an incredible keyboard player. These guys could go way out with jazz, anywhere you wanted to go, blues, whatever. So I got my basic training with those guys and Gary Starr, which were great influences on me. And honestly, I was very fortunate to get to play with them. So that's a bit of history in this region of great players that most of them gone on, but they're some incredible players.
Thank you, Rondo. That's Ron Shuffler there, folks. He knows a tune or two because he's picked a tune or two. And Ron will say, yeah, I played that back in 1962. Let's do it, boys. Here's a little Duke Ellington for y'all. And the reason I got out the 5-string banjo, because that's really, Ellington, that's what he wanted to do, was play the banjo, but he had to keep up that big band. You know? Had to keep up his image. Here we go. we actually got together on September the, it wasn't the 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th, 13th, and rehearsed our show. And then we were planning on doing it on the 17th, and we were so proud of ourselves, we knew we had it. And then old Florence told us we needed to wait a while, and so we hadn't seen each other a few days. But when we had that rehearsal, Reggie brought in this tune right here, and I just think he does a wonderful job on it. Reggie, if you'd be so kind, we would love to hear it.
What's the name of it?
I can't give you anything but a Himalayan possum.
One, two, 3, 4. I can't give you anything but love, oh baby. That's the only thing I've plenty of, baby. Dream a while and scheme a while, we're sure to find happiness, and I guess all those things a little hard bound for. Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell, baby. Diamond bracelet, a woodwork doesn't sell. My pretty baby body, till the day, lucky day, I can't give you anything but love. sure to find happiness, and I guess all those things your little heart find for. Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell. sail my pretty baby body home. On a day, lucky day, I can't give you anything but love. Oh yeah.
Well, we'd like to do one really quick number here to end it, if you've got a second. And we started our program with a song that was written by 3 guys, Jewish professional songwriters who were writing on Tin Pan Alley in New York, and a song that was originally recorded by a great blues artist and then went into the whole Western swing. And we're going to end it the same way with a song called My Window Faces the South.
Keeps to the forward. Are you ready, K-Bob? I believe we kept a captive audience here, K-Bob. Thank y'all so much for being here, folks. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks a million. Thanks a million. 1, 2, 3.
Well, my window faces the south. I'm almost halfway to heaven. The snow is falling, but all I can see are those fields of cotton smiling back at me. Well, my window faces the south. Though I am far from that Swanee, I'm never frowning or down in the mouth. My window faces the south. I'm almost halfway to heaven. The snow is falling, but all I can see are those fields of cotton smiling back at me. Well, my window, it faces the south. And though I am far from that Swanee River, I'm never frowning or down